Hi guys, thanks once again for joining me at Photo Tutorials. As you can see, we have another Capture NX2 tutorial to show you. And in this episode, what I'm going to show you is how we can alter the background using the Selective brush. If you look at this particular image, you can see the background's washed out a bit around there, where you can see all the industry. And this little boat in the foreground here, I want to keep as is, because there's some nice light on there, and I want to try and keep it as it is, but at the same time get that background a bit more contrasty. And so I'm going to show you how we're going to go about doing it. We're going to use this brush here, which is Add Remove tool, and we're going to use the Selective brush. And what we're going to do is we're just going to left click the mouse button once, okay, and what we're going to do is all the area that's green is going to be adjusted by the contrast and levels. So what I'll do is I want to go to this adjustment brush here, as you can see, this one here, and I'm going to go on the minus brush rather than the plus brush, and I'm just going to zoom in so we can see what we're doing, because what I want to do is I just want to alter the background. The sea and the boat there's quite enough contrast and detail in the foreground in the boat. The water doesn't really matter anyway, but the boat and the sea is what I'm going to leave, and I'm just going to alter the horizon up over. So all the industrial background, what you see, I'm just going to add a little tweak to that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go down to this right hand side here, and as you can see, that's the horizon point there from the right, and all we're going to do is we're just going to use the Selective brush on the minus, which is known as the minus brush, and just increase that a bit, and we just go along very roughly. Doesn't have to be perfect, because obviously it's in the distance, but and also if you look at how we've got the feather set at 100%, so it should blend in quite nicely, as long as you don't overdo the adjustments. Because that's when you're going to see the difference in the areas that you've selected. So be quite subtle about your selection, and don't have it on on a very low feather. Now we're coming up to the board here, and the top of that sail, as you can see, comes above the horizon. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to catch the top of the sail like that, just move that along there, and we just finish this off over on the left side. I'm just doing this in a sort of smaller brush, just so we can get the horizon, the outline on the horizon. What we'll do is we'll sort of go back over with a larger brush, and there you go, and it gets rid of more of this. But have a tweak about with your brush. So I'll probably have to reduce that at a certain point. There you go. As I said, just do enough. We're going to work our way along to the right here, and just do enough so that the larger brush doesn't sort of overlap the horizon, what you've just done. And that's a quick way of working on your images. You've heard me say it in another tutorial about how good NX2 is. It's a really nice bit of software to use when you start using all these great features in it. Most of my editing now is done in RAW, and maybe give it the odd tweak in Photoshop. And as I said in previous tutorials, one of the advantages of that is you're completely editing in RAW. There, we can increase the size of that brush now. So obviously the bottom, as you see, this is the area that we don't want touching. So all of those areas that are highlighted in green, that's got the selection brush added to it. That's the area of the image that's going to be selected. And we're just going to go down to image adjust, brightness, contrast, and we're just going to give that a little tweak. And I'll take it down just so you can see what it looks like. If you take it too far, can you see how you can see like there's a noticeable difference when you go beyond a certain point, there's a certain threshold that you can take it to, and then it'll look obvious. The selection will look obvious, and obviously you don't want that. So as you can see, this is starting to look a little bit more natural now. It's just trying to get the background to blend in with the foreground, you know, with in terms of contrast and brightness. And we probably get away with adding more contrast than we can by taking away more brightness and darkening the image. So what I'll probably do is leave it at that. And you can zoom in on that, and we'll just have a look at the horizon. That looks pretty good to me. That selection's done quite well on that horizon. It looks quite natural. There, the boat's remained as it is. There you can see that lovely scene between the background and the sea. So it's done a nice job for us. So basically, that's how you go about using your selection brush. If you have any images and you're interested in giving Capture NX2, give it a go, use that brush. And thanks for watching, and I will catch you next time. See you later, bye.